This is Expert to Expert, connecting industry practitioners and educators from ESC Region 11 and the CTE CCMR team.
My name is Ashley Stevenson, and I am one of the instructional services coordinators here at the Service Center. I started out as a middle school science teacher for quite a few years. So I did 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade science, and then was a middle school counselor. So for 8 years, so 17 years all in middle school, and then moved on from that to working as the McKinney-Vento liaison at the central office. So McKinney-Vento helps the students that are experiencing homelessness. So it is the act that provides the legal provisions for the students that are experiencing homelessness. So it makes sure that school districts are following all of the laws necessary. So particularly related to identification, enrollment, and providing wraparound services for kids. So working more, not as much in the direct services with kiddos, but working to help the people who worked directly with kiddos. So I went to Texas A&M University, so I have a degree in interdisciplinary studies, particularly in math and science. So I took a lot of math classes, a lot of science. My degree specifically was to teach 4th through 8th grade math and science. So I was really only focused narrowly on teaching at the time. As I progressed through my career, the options have opened to me as I've opened new doors. And so I never would have thought about this position that I'm in. This position never was on my radar ever until a couple of years ago. I have a master's in school counseling, but I'm not clinically certified. So for the position that I was in to be a McKinney-Vento liaison, you needed to have either a school counseling master's or to be clinically certified with a social work degree or like a licensed professional counselor. And most of the people that I know are dually certified. And so I think one of the things to consider is if you have the option to get certified in both, I would highly encourage people to do both because it gives you more options. And so I was only certified in school counseling because it was kind of one of those first out-of-the-gate certifications that they offered through online. But if I had done it again, I would have done both because it would have given me more options. So there's a lot of different areas. Let's say that you were to get, just starting off, if you were to get your master's, you can get your master's. I got my master's in school counseling. You could have gotten a dual master's in school counseling and then a licensed professional counselor. A licensed professional counselor could work in a school, or they could work as their own LPC where they are seeing students professionally in a clinical setting. So they could see adults, they could see kids, and so you're a therapist, so you're a licensed professional therapist. Within the school counseling, it's very specific because you're licensed within the state of Texas. If you wanted to be licensed within other states, you would need to take those state examinations. I have taken the state examination for the state of Texas, so I'm licensed within the state of Texas. The other state examinations, there is a national examination as well if you wanted to take that one. If you are an LPC, you can take state or national examinations, and you're licensed clinically, which is separate than the Texas school counseling. I would say explore many different opportunities. So don't just look at one thing. I think for me, I really looked at one thing, and so I was really looking at just teaching science at the time. And so I was looking at science courses and math courses and science. I really wish I had looked at all kinds of different things. Really in the role that I'm in, I really need some programming knowledge. I need some Microsoft Excel knowledge. I need some data visualization knowledge. I would definitely, as a high school student, have gotten my Microsoft Office certification for sure, because that's something that I could have done back then and then been well prepared to have gone forward and then gotten those little extra tweaks. So I would have been looking at Microsoft Power BI in college and looking and taking those different extra steps for data visualization, and then started looking at different programming things like HTML or looking at SQL, different things that would have helped me, that would have distinguished me. But having that Microsoft Office package that's pretty much universally known, I would have done that. So you definitely want to be choosing courses to study human behavior and study what somebody's thinking and why somebody's taking certain actions that they are. So those two courses are definitely important. I would also gear a student towards taking courses that are going to make sure that they're taking the most advanced courses possible. So gearing students towards taking those advanced placement courses and making sure that students are taking the most advanced courses possible. It is very unusual that I ended up in more of a counseling profession with a math and science background. There's not very many of us who ended up that way. And I do need a lot of the reading and writing skills. And I will say that that is not my strength. I've had to really work at it. And that is an area that I have really, really worked hard at, especially when I was getting my master's. We have to write a lot of papers to get your master's. And I had to work twice as hard to write those papers. But you just do it. And I double checked with people and made sure I was doing it and had people edit and review. And that really helped me. There are times when I need to write an email that is very professional to somebody, and it will take me maybe twice as long because it's not my area of strength. But I have worked really hard at that, and so I'm proud of how far that's taken me. I could do an Excel formula in 3 seconds for you, but to write a paper will take me longer, and that's okay. And I think it's important to know that you can't be good at everything. And so just because it takes longer, that's okay. Conflict resolution, definitely. There's definitely going to be times where you disagree with somebody, especially somebody in authority, and understanding how do you do that? And so how do you disagree in a professional way? And how do you respond in a professional way? So it's okay to disagree, but how do you do that? And so being able to have those conversations and role-playing that is really important. And so I would say that I don't believe that we do that enough in high school. I don't believe that we actually role-play that enough. The more fields that you study, the more employable you're going to be, and the more you can diversify yourself. So I wish that I had kind of had my hand in many pots versus one. I think also work ethic and time management. Sometimes things get really hard, and there are a lot of timelines, and they're all due at the same time. It doesn't fit nicely in your 8 to 4 o'clock day, and how are you going to manage that? So being able to really understand there are times where we have to crunch and there are times when we don't, but managing that well.
This has been Expert to Expert, connecting industry practitioners and educators.